There's a Capricorn full moon on July 14, Bastille Day. And Capricorn is all about taking charge, taking control, and working towards your goals and dreams. Building the foundation and then building the empire on top of it. Capricorn is a leadership sign symbolized by the mountain goat, always climbing ahead, looking for the next step to get right on top of the pack. But in ancient astrology, Capricorn was seen as a sea goat, with all the strength and determination of a goat leading its path, but the tail of a fish, swimming in psychic and spiritual realms, not seeking to find its validation through external sources. Because your average Capricorn is good with that. They manage to find themselves in places and positions of respect and status and the material wealth that exhibits that. The sea goat is in search of spiritual wealth. And we're really going down into that place because the Capricorn moon sits right beside Pluto, and it casts a shadow over how you think you're seen by the outside world. You start to question the recognition, or you're facing a reality that what you want recognition for isn't really authentic to who you are. Pluto is the god of death and transformation, but it also regenerates. And what we've got with this moon is that reflection of how others see you and emotionally catching up with a door that's become closed. This moon phase is an evolving pattern from the new moon in Cancer 2 weeks ago, where the sun and the moon were conjunct Lilith, that primal female power that demands equality and justice. The Roe versus Wade decision came down in America, and it's absolutely shocking. But I would expect that protest and resistance that comes through, guided by Lilith at its birth, to have a profound impact on the future of that decision being overturned. We also saw the January 6 investigation committee getting closer to criminal evidence against Donald Trump himself, showing where he incited an armed crowd to stop the transition of power to the newly elected government. Opposite the moon, we have the sun in Cancer, and it's joined by Mercury and Ceres. For some, this is literally a conversation with your mother, or about mothers, about the nurturing you need on a fundamental level. It throws you back into the past of where maybe nurturing was scarce, the kind of nurturing that you needed, which might have been appreciation and respect and rulership. We're all looking at what we gave away. And this can become a lonely place, even if you're surrounded by friends and community who look up to you. From a broader perspective, this moon also brings up issues around the food shortages, transportation, and trade restrictions likely to continue through this moon phase and a bit beyond. Chiron, our spiritual healer, is square Mercury, putting real pressure on the traditional ways of doing things and trying to find alternative methods. With Ceres here, we're again looking at things like food production, agriculture, supplies, essential nourishment. And Chiron's forcing us to look at alternative ways of doing that. Finding a tribe instead of your own blood family. Sustainable living, locally produced food. Finding unusual trading partners. Even things like vertical farming and developing innovative uses from farming from the sea, because these guys are all in Cancer. You know, it's a water sign. This pressure to find innovation is completely supported by Uranus during this moon phase. Uranus is the planet that splits things apart, that forms a kind of electric charge to form revolution, to make you look at things differently, to use a shake-up in your routine that breaks apart into a new way. It's not always fun, because sometimes these shake-ups can be shattering, and they're pretty much always like left field. You don't get to control them. Uranus gets you out there, and it turns this traditional idea of what is good or what is right on its head. And that's what we need at the moment. What's more, the North Node is coming up right next to Uranus. It will be exact in a few weeks. This has the effect of pulling the energy towards it, and it's going to be channeled through Taurus. So this means finances, stability, A comfortable life is getting a hit, and those external validations reflected from outside now need to find self-worth from your own set of values and putting these values into practical use. This could bring a simpler life ahead of you if you bravely believe in yourself. Uranus is sending a power surge to Ceres, Mercury and the Sun, and Pluto and the Moon, and it's getting the conversation opening, sending the messages and the signs and the signals. Pay attention to your intuitive voice and signals from the body, because this one is really electrifying your nervous system. This plutonic self-reflection that's going on over the moon phase is also caught up in a little situation between Venus and Neptune. This is a bubble being burst, and it could be part of the trigger of this kind of lonely place and feeling of rejection that some of you will be entertaining over this moon phase. Neptune holds the hopes and the dreams, and with Venus it's potentially dreams about love, money and self-worth. Juno has joined Neptune, and she's the queen of the heavens, the archetypal representation of commitment, expectations, oaths and contracts. So something about these contracts is dissolving. For some people, this could mean a key role that you played is changing. For instance, the role of a caretaker or a mother or even a casual partner. You could find yourself being ghosted, and maybe there's even suspicion and intrigue or avoidance that's adding up to something that's not working for you at all. Saturn's up here in Aquarius. So despite a dream fading into nothing, Saturn means you can build support and better boundaries and a better structure from a more authentic place. A place where you get to hold the reins and you get to set the rules. This is new territory, and it's coming from the air sign qualities of being smart rather than emotional and finding clarity by creating space to cool down the drama. This is the Queen of Swords. She cuts through the emotion to the most common sense decision and follows through. And with Uranus North Node and Chiron where they are, that common sense decision could be radically left field. This moon phase, Uranus is piercing through that shadow of the veneer of what was held up to be respectable and authoritative or protective or in our best interests. The government, corporations, big business. There's more that will be uncovered. In your personal life, this could be someone falling off a pedestal, someone you put a lot of faith and hope and belief in, and maybe that was not the right thing to do. But you're seeing what's really there, and you're seeing vulnerability. Even if it looks like fear or greed or dominance, you've got the opportunity to regrow in a new form. And with Saturn, sending in some protective boundaries, some strength, some resilience to get through to the other side. Instead of being the mountain goat, always climbing on top of everyone else to get to where you want to be the sea goat, swimming through the depths, building structures for the good of all, finding magic in the everyday. I'm Meryl Key, and this is my mystery school. Like, follow, share and subscribe. If you'd like to know more, contact me through my website, www.merylkey.com. Blessed be.